In the grand metropolis of Gearford, a city where towering smokestacks belched steam and intricate clockwork mechanisms powered everything from street lamps to flying machines, lived a man shrouded in mystery. His name was Victor Stain, and he was not an ordinary man. Victor was a genetically engineered agent, crafted by the nation's top scientists to be faster, stronger, and smarter than any human alive. His heart was steady as a metronome, his vision as sharp as any eagle's, and his mind a labyrinthine network of encrypted memories and coldly calculated instincts. Yet behind his calm exterior and perfect facade lay a deep, unshakable loneliness. Victor had only one purpose: to serve the Empire as a master spy. He could blend seamlessly into any crowd, charm his way past any guard, and decode the most intricate of secrets. His handlers kept him under strict surveillance, treating him more like a tool than a man. But Victor accepted his life as one of duty, believing he was incapable of feeling anything more. One evening, he was sent to investigate a scientist known to be harboring secrets of revolutionary airship technology. His target was hidden within Gearford's grandest gala, an opulent affair held in the mansion of the wealthy Lady Annalise. The mansion was a spectacle of brass and iron, with walls adorned by intricate gears that spun at the flick of a lever. Victor slipped into the gathering unnoticed, dressed in a tailored dark suit, his body language shifting seamlessly to match the demeanor of a charming aristocrat. As he scanned the crowd, his gaze landed on a woman unlike any he had ever seen. She stood by the great brass clock in the center of the hall, wearing a dress adorned with fine chains and delicate clockwork detailing that glinted under the amber glow of gaslight. Her eyes, a stormy gray, held a fierce intelligence. She noticed him immediately, and with a subtle smile, raised her glass in acknowledgement. Her name, he would learn, was Alara Traven, an inventor and a woman of intrigue in her own right. Alara was known for her work on biomechanical engineering, though no one knew the extent of her genius. Little did she know that Victor, the man who captivated her at first glance, was himself a living testament to her field's darker side, a creation molded for espionage, with no life or will beyond what was assigned to him. Through the evening, Victor's training told him to keep his distance, but something about Alara's sharp wit and fearless demeanor drew him in. She, too, found herself unable to ignore him, feeling a strange magnetism in his presence. As the night unfolded, she managed to pull him into a conversation, intrigued by the quiet but intense man who seemed to appear from nowhere. Their conversation was an exchange of guarded words, each instinctively wary of the other. Yet in the pauses, in the subtle tension between questions and answers, they felt an inexplicable connection. Alara found herself compelled by Victor's stoic demeanor, sensing that beneath his carefully controlled exterior was a hidden pain. Victor, for his part, was drawn to her fierce intelligence and the fire in her eyes, a fire that illuminated a part of him he thought had been extinguished. Their connection did not go unnoticed. Victor's handler, hidden among the guests, observed his distraction with suspicion. Later that night, Victor was confronted by his superiors, who warned him that personal connections were liabilities. In their eyes, Alara was nothing more than a target of interest who could compromise his mission. Against all his programming, Victor felt a spark of defiance. He began secretly meeting with Alara in the labyrinthine alleys of Gearford. Their meetings grew more frequent, and each time, he felt his carefully maintained defenses crumble just a little more. Alara sensed the intensity behind his controlled demeanor, and one evening, she dared to ask about his past. "I was made for this," he replied quietly. "Designed to follow orders, to be the perfect weapon." Alara's face softened, her hand reaching for his. "No one can program a heart, Victor. I've seen yours, even if you try to hide it." They shared their first kiss under the dim glow of an old gas lamp, the city's machinery clanking and hissing around them. In that moment, Victor felt more alive than he had in his entire existence. But he knew the risks. His handlers would never allow him the luxury of love. Days later, Victor was summoned to headquarters and informed of his next assignment: to investigate Alara herself. The Empire had grown wary of her inventions, fearing they could be used by rival factions. Victor was ordered to gain her trust fully and extract any secrets she was hiding, but he knew he could never betray her. With a heavy heart, Victor warned Alara that she was in grave danger. Together, they devised a plan to escape the city. They stole away into the night, racing through the labyrinthine streets and alleys of Gearford toward the edge of the city. Their only hope was a hidden airship Alara had designed herself, nestled in a remote warehouse, ready to take them far from the Empire's reach. But their pursuers were close behind. As they made their way to the airship, Victor fought off agents sent to capture them, his strength and skill unmatched. Yet even with his enhancements, he was only one man, and the odds were grim. Alara worked frantically to ready the airship, her heart racing as she glanced back to see Victor struggling against a relentless wave of attackers. Just as they boarded the airship and it began to rise, Victor was struck by a bullet. He staggered, clutching his side as blood seeped through his shirt, but Alara pulled him aboard, taking control of the ship and soaring into the sky. As they left Gearford behind, Victor's vision blurred, and he felt his life slipping away. But he reached for Alara's hand, clinging to her touch. "You're free now, Victor," she whispered, her voice breaking. With his last strength, Victor managed a faint smile. "Because of you," he murmured. His hand fell from hers as his eyes closed, and Alara held him close, feeling the warmth fade from his body. She knew he was gone, yet his sacrifice had bought her freedom, a gift she would honor for the rest of her days. Alara went on to become a legend, creating inventions that helped the people of Gearford and beyond. She kept Victor's memory alive, ensuring that he was remembered not as a tool or a weapon, but as a man capable of love and sacrifice. And in the quiet moments, as she worked in her workshop, she would feel his presence, a gentle reminder of the man who had taught her that no one, not even a man made by the hands of others, was truly beyond redemption.